Legendary singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell is now being honored by the city she calls her hometown.
It's time to recognize her.
When she was 9 years old, Mitchell and her family moved to Saskatoon, a city that helped shape her career, which took off in the 60s.
It's just huge. You know, it's been so long coming, and we've talked so long, various different times about what might happen and what might be important, but the city absolutely hit on the perfect thing for her.
The day started with a plaque unveiling at the former location of the Louis Riel Coffee House, the Broadway Avenue Cafe where Mitchell played her first paid gig to earn what she described as smoking money. Next, the unveiling of the Joni Mitchell Promenade along the South Saskatchewan River, a spot dear to Mitchell.
Right along this riverbank was where Joni Mitchell herself walked from Hanover Avenue and where she lived to the Riversdale Pool, where she first learned to dance and perform and do many things, and spent a lot of time along the banks of this river.
This was just so important to her, you know, just so meaningful along here. So she was just absolutely thrilled, and she still is. I talked to her this morning, actually.
The 74-year-old Canadian icon and 9-time Grammy winner was unable to travel to the ceremony, but was said to be watching the live stream of the event. The city says Mitchell gave input and approval throughout the process.
A reminder of the incredible gifts that Joni Mitchell has provided to this community and to the world.
Rebecca Lesko, Global News.
Oh yes, I do. A little bit overdue, but worthy.
Overdue?
Yes. Well, we could have done it earlier because we felt proud of her for a long, long time already.
Do you have any favorite Mitchell songs?
Yes. Parking Lot.
Someone mentioned Lydia's used to be next to
Yeah,
yes. There, and that makes them think of that song.
Exactly. It's quite fitting.
Are there any other hallmarks in Saskatoon that make you think of Joni Mitchell?
Well, of course, because I went to Aidan Bowman Collegiate, which is also her alma mater, and so I like to say that, yeah, I had that connection. And my father used to teach there, and he has an album that she gave him, so it's still a prized possession in the family.
Last question. She can't be here today, but she's watching a live stream.
Oh.
If you could say something to her, what would you like to say?
Joni, we are so proud of you, and I've spread your name every place I go, and everybody already knows it.
We are thrilled to be here today to celebrate the wonderful work of Joni Mitchell, who people will know had her formative years in Saskatoon.
From Louis Riel Coffee House to the river, to Broadway Bridge, to what is now known as River Landing. These are the places that inspired some of my favorite work of hers, and I think sits in the hearts of many of us.
Oh, it's perfect. And that's how she feels, is that it's absolutely perfect. It's been, yeah, it couldn't have been better for her.
The World Wide Web, and they are celebrating, and I'm told, having tea and scones. So we want to say hi, Joni. Well, this is truly a historic occasion.
Of many causes. Let it be a reminder that we nurture, that we are good to one another. And as we stand here today on Treaty 6 territory in the homeland of the Métis, may it inspire us to go forward together in a spirit of reconciliation.
Bob Hynett was the drama teacher at Aiden Bowman, and he suggested that we come down and offer support to Joni Mitchell at the Louis Riel Coffee House. And Joni was up there singing, and after she finished the song, I was the only one that clapped for her. And so I say, I am her original fan.
Sometimes it's hard to be recognized in your hometown. It is. It just, it seems like someone has to go somewhere else to be recognized before that really happens. So I'm just, I'm thankful that it's happening, and it's happening. This is great. So, right on.
When I was 15 or 16, a friend of mine and I went out to another friend's ranch on the North Saskatchewan riverbank, and we put in Joni's album, and we listened to Both Sides Now, and we listened to Woodstock, and it was just something that kind of just changed the way I saw the world from that moment forward. It was just so beautiful, and so I just wanted to thank her for her contributions.
2, 3. What's your name?
My name is Diane Scadden.
And what brings you out here on the bridge?
Well, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to see this celebration of Joni because I went to school with her at Aiden Bowman.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Same grade?
No, I was 1 year.
Oh, wow. 2, 3. So how does it feel now to be taking part in a ceremony that honors someone that you went to school with?
Well, I think those that went to school with Joni realized, even at that early date, that she was a person of tremendous creative abilities, and it's just wonderful to see that she's being recognized.
So one plaque's been unveiled, another on the way,
Yes.
and the promenade leading to Ramey Modern
Yes.
is going to be named in her honor. Do you think these are fitting tributes to her?
I do, because they're lasting, and I think it's fitting also that part of it is new and part of it old, and her music is never old.
Friends, but it has been my delight over the last several months to have been working with a small group of people who have sought to bring this day to reality, to work alongside Ms. Mitchell to ensure at last that she is recognized in her hometown. To meet and to chat with Joni Mitchell about what we someday want to do in Saskatchewan or in Saskatoon to recognize her contribution to the arts. I remember we shared a Danish at the Bez overlooking the river. It's an hour I'll never forget. That day, Joni Mitchell was very clear with me, as Joni Mitchell can be very clear. She was clear with me in saying that whatever we do, whatever place we may choose, it needed to be a place and a space that was
thinking about the circle game and the carousel of time that you talked about in that song, Joni, and that we're captive on the carousel of time. And it's been 56 times around the season since Joni Mitchell played at the Louis Riel Coffee Shop. I think if I estimate it right, 50 times around the season since Joni Mitchell released this album, Clouds, which is such a tribute, I think, in the story of Joni Mitchell in Saskatoon, with the Bez Hotel in the background, the river, and holding the prairie lily in this beautiful self-portrait, which I think speaks to this relationship between this woman and our community. And here we are, this many times around the season in 2018, those of us who have gathered here today to have a chance to reflect upon what this relationship means and what it means to be the city that Joni Mitchell came from.
She left the city to pursue music almost 50 years ago. But there have been plenty of honors for Joni Mitchell since then. This gala in 2005 with the Queen. This art show at the Mendel, where she was greeted by thousands of fans. Before that, this Lifetime Achievement Award for music.
I was a very reluctant star, to be that high profile. I mean, coming from small towns in Saskatchewan, you're trained to a certain conservatism, that it's almost like a crime to stick your head above the crowd.
But despite several attempts, Saskatoon still has no Joni Mitchell statue, no museum. Mitchell told Saskatoon's biggest newspaper, people don't get her or her ideas.
She does, have very fond memories of Saskatoon. She also has some harsh words about, her time here.
Mitchell went on to say Saskatoon is very isolated, very unworldly. Saskatoon's always been an extremely bigoted community. It's like the Deep South.
I suppose she's entitled to her opinion the same as anyone else.
She hasn't lived here for quite a while, so I don't see how she can make assumptions of a place.
Who is she?
I would have liked to see something here, but after this, she's ruined her reputation for me.
After this, I don't think so. I don't know if that's being immature, but it's just how I feel.
Lauren Halvard is heading a group that's still planning a Joni Mitchell tribute.
Let's keep our heads. We understand that she may have opinions that may not correspond with the reality of today. And again, I say that doesn't change that which we want to celebrate, this life, this creativity.
Calvert admits those comments might sour some people on Joni Mitchell, but he says she's making it clear she doesn't want to be involved in any kind of tribute, and in a way it makes it easier for his group. He says now her fans here in Saskatoon can pursue whatever kind of tribute they want without needing her okay. Jennifer Cannell, CBC News, Saskatoon.